Hi guys, and welcome to Freaky Table. My name is Joan. Yana Kwo are joining me in the house. We've got lots of guests. By the way, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. And from us to you, we say thank you and we love you. But joining us on set today to discuss one of my favorite things in the world, relationships and love. It is one of my very good friends and a social media sensation. She is an MC and a TV host and an actress. Ladies and gentlemen, Vicky Fokala is in the building, as well as writer and the winner of 13 million franc CFA, my dear friend Howard. Okay, I don't know the other name. Just don't bother.
Meh-Buh Maximus.
Yes, Meh-Buh Maximus is here. Guys, welcome, and you guys look amazing. Happy Valentine's Day.
Hey.
Happy. What's going on with this one? By the way, happy Valentine's Day. I heard you broke up yesterday.
Something to fake news, John.
Fake news?
Yes.
Okay. Howard, welcome.
Thank you.
Vicky, good to see you. You look amazing. He's the first female guest.
Yeah, actually.
Yes. Shout out. You know, you're the Kamala Harris. There you go. Amazing. All right, so today there's something that's been going on social media in our lives, and that is cheating. And most women usually accuse men of cheating most of the time. Likewise, the guys will be like, yeah, reverse, likewise to the women. But the whole issue of people being in committed relationships and still want to live the single life, still having multiple partners or another partner is what is disturbing to almost everybody. But that seems to be something that we all are practicing, almost all of us.
This man.
Except me.
This man is practicing it.
Except me. This one.
And me, I don't practice.
Yeah, this man looks like he's
He,
practicing.
right?
Yes.
So, look, can you show them what relationship is like?
I feel bullied.
Can you just show them? Can you just show them?
So open relationships. Oh my God.
That's right there. I told you guys.
Oh my God. Women always accuse men of cheating so many times. Like, what really makes a man go out of a committed relationship, whether marriage or committed dating relationship?
Is this directed at me?
Of course. You're an expert.
So this is not my personal experience.
Spin it all out.
Asking questions that can cause problems back at home. but I think that there are plethora of reasons. There's not just one reason. There is a factor of power and access where you just feel that power. When you think that you can have multiple partners, that you can have, it seems very validating to your manhood in that sense. So that's one reason why people might cheat. Of course, sometimes it's also the issues that are within the relationship, the primary relationship. Sometimes people get into relationships and then begin seeing differences. Sometimes their needs are not met. They are looking for some spark somewhere. So there are many reasons why people go out. But back to open relationships. I think that Howard hinted at the sexual thing, that most often people go for open relationships because they want to satisfy some sexual or some need outside. And I just remembered a friend telling me about I think when he was in South Korea, and he had this couple that came to him, and it was an older man married to a younger woman, and he could not satisfy her sexually by virtue of the age now. So his libido had aged out. So he got this friend to come and perform. But it's an agreement that you have, and it was fine. That's what saved their marriage. I also know of stories where, among religious folks where, like, okay, we would not have sex before marriage. And then in marriage, at the time that they see their thing there, and then they look at it, I don't know how flop me. So she zooms forward midway, and they go only open.
But Yana, this whole thing about I know biblically, those who are Christians always say that you have to abstain from sex before you get married.
Yeah.
But in this situation where you have to do that, respect the laws of God, and then get into a why are you laughing?
Because
You get
God is not going to respect any law. I mean, how did Mary get pregnant?
Shut up. I'm like,
No, yeah.
so you get into the marriage, and then this situation happens. Now, do you is that a good reason to move out of that relationship? Do you want to keep? Do you want to stay in that relationship with the situation, or do you want to get out of the relationship like permanently, or step one leg out of the relationship while the other one still remains in it?
It can be wide open. But the thing is, people get into relationships for various reasons. So either you want to satisfy sexual urge because maybe attracted to somebody because of how it looks, right? Yes. Or probably also because why are you acting up?
You see, you might be attracted to somebody because how it looks. We now know.
You're a Labrador today. So you have it could be for marriage. So if you're going for marriage, therefore you're already mentally prepared. So there may be a strong commitment for you to be in that relationship because maybe you've exhausted your options of marriage. You have marriage, you also want to because you just want to explore sexually, or just because you want to fill a certain gap, emotional gap. Some people, it depends on your love language too. You maybe just want to have a good time. Maybe your love language is you're just touchy, and you want to just keep that gap closed. So it depends on the reason why you're in a relationship. If you are in a relationship where you know that you cannot take sex, and also principle too, because you may be in the space of wanting to be in a marriage, but then you cannot take, like I was saying, you cannot take certain things like, okay, being in an open relationship, you feel like it's disrespectful to your person, you just close that chapter.
Have you been in an open relationship?
Situationship, yes, not relationship.
What's that?
What's the difference?
When you seeing other people,
The thing is, situationships. The difference is situationships happen when you know that all what you do is just be in that space, right, of no strong commitment. You just fit body parties.
So it was loosely an open relationship.
No, open relationship is different. When you're
you're
in a relationship together with the person, and there's consent over the fact that you can see other people, and the people know the people you're seeing. Even
might know.
Well, always the case. No.
I think open relationships have so many different rules.
No, they do. I'm saying always the case generally. The case generally is where you know the person. You're talking about religion. No.
I actually
you must not know.
I actually
Definitely.
know a couple who decided that okay, we can see other people, but I don't have to know about it.
Yes,
and it should not be a friend.
And it should not be.
You have those rules. I'm just saying on the general scale.
Yeah.
But you talk about from a religious perspective too. You have things like people who are attracted to the same sex. They use open relationships. Satisfy that urge, where you're getting married to fit the cultural expectations of man and woman. But then when you get into your home, you say, okay, you know what? Fine, this is where we are right now. You can see people you're attracted to, but then just make sure you don't sleep with somebody who is of the opposite sex. These are the ground rules. So there are various reasons why you want to get into open.
But I have a worry. I don't know if to say it's a worry or if to say it's a question per se. Since all of us have been speaking here, everybody keeps talking about sex and sex being the reason why people have to go out. What then is the basis of a relationship? Would we consider that a relationship is primarily for sex? So much that if you have to go out, it's because of sex.
The sex has to be there.
I don't dispute that fact. Trust me. Okay, for example, just to tell you that the sex has to be there. Yeah, I will not, as Christian and as whatever believing as I am, I will not marry a man I have not had sex with.
Amen.
I won't. I won't, because the truth is we have a lot of Christian homes that are frustrated. Yes. Because of sexual frustration. Yeah. And we cannot continue pretending that it is okay. Yes. It is not okay. So personally, there are certain sizes I deal with.
What do you mean?
No.
No, but I mean, this is freaking table, right? We say it as it is here. I'm just saying, like, I I need to know, because whether or not we accept it, one of the strongest bonding units of a relationship is the sex. Bring something else to the table, that's okay, but that is the table.
Yes.
Whatever else you're bringing, and we're on it. Whatever else you're bringing stands on that table. You must have a solid sexual life. But now I still know some people who can have sex from morning to night and still go out. In the 1 hour they are given to rest, they go and cheat again and come back. So what then is the essence? That's my question. If you have a woman who satisfies beyond, in fact, I don't know how to call it, above satisfies you sexually. You know, the kind of the way they always say she's a whore in bed, she's a chef in the kitchen, she's a this in the house. You have all of that. What are you doing outside?
But Vicky, people have different fantasies, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes.
And
Why don't you create
and
those
some-
fantasies with the person?
No, because sometimes
some
you can
people
exhaust them,
don't.
and also the person will
People
not
don't
be
want to
adventurous
go-
like that.
Exactly.
And sex is adventure.
Yes,
basically.
because
So,
you say
yeah.
But I that's a point. Because there are things that I wouldn't do, and I've had a relationship where they wanted me, and I was like, girlfriend, it's okay. Yeah.
So some people are not adventurous enough at all, even.
Mhm.
Yeah. You see doggy person do kangaroo.
Vicky, you mentioned that sex was the table, right?
Yes.
But you're speaking personally, I think, because there are people who connect on sapiosexuals connect like intelligence and everything. So it doesn't necessarily have to be sex that makes you want to be with that person.
Absolutely not.
Exactly. So if you're with that person because of all these other things, maybe they are very kind and you find that very attractive, and they're very smart and all that, but then the sex is lacking. Do you think that you're going to stay in that relationship if you can have an agreement that, okay, you know what, you can satisfy the sexual urges somewhere else and still be in that relationship?
No.
But yeah, and that's fine. It's just different.
I think relationships it's not a one rule fits all. No, sometimes the default position, the default setting is already problematic.
It's a position.
The default setting is really problematic. So if it's not there, that size,
What's not there?
the size example, it's not there. Then no, I'm saying, but the person makes up for it, as Howard says, in other things that you deeply appreciate. So if you can get the type of argument that says that, okay, you can go and sow your royal oats out there, and then but we keep the primary relationship. I think that sometimes it might come from your principles.
Yeah.
About what relationships should be, about ownership, even, because to me, relationship is really about ownership and the agreement to go through the torture of monogamy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Right.
accepting. I mean, once you're in a monogamous relationship, you've taken upon yourself to go through that torture, because it's not like you don't see other people that you admire, and you are not oblivious to handsome,
attracted.
beautiful,
Yeah.
and getting attracted to the various shades that humanity comes.
And it's a lot of discipline too, because you have to make sure that you have the sexual urges to satisfy.
But I'm interested to know who has had an open relationship.
Oh,
here.
have you had what? Okay, you say you.
No, I don't.
I mean, the last public open relationship story that we heard was, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett ended up in an entanglement situation. That wasn't so funny on Will Smith's face when we saw it on TV. So how much we keep saying that you have to agree, it's supposed to be consensual. You have to do. Just how do people feel that your partner, somebody that you say every day that you love, you're deeply in love with this person, is sleeping with somebody else? How do you accept that? Like, I don't even understand. Like, how do you go through that?
How did our grandparents deal with the mothers, our grandmothers? How did they deal with their husbands sleeping with other women as wives?
They didn't fall in love in these relationships. Like
Before the relationship.
like they didn't. They did. Yeah, Papa the Jote Kujo girl was for the man. So you just stay there, like you're fulfilling righteousness, which says that at a certain age, this woman is supposed to be married. I'll take my mom, for example. My parents, they didn't date. They are not new school. My mom got married, she was 16. They just take it go gear. And then they do all other arrangements. You know, that kind of, it's my grandma who sees my dad and goes like, he cute, you know? And then I have a daughter. And then whatever they did, my mom didn't know until they just came and then they told her, okay, you're getting married. Okay. And then she goes, and 16, she's married. Now, would you think that woman would have a problem if another one comes? She doesn't have any attachment, any emotions yet for that man. And even when it comes along the line, she has already in her mind, she has accepted that this is what is supposed to happen. But not in our case.
I also think that patriarchy normalized the acceptance of polygamy and polygamous relationships, where women, even if, because love, I think, is something that you could also develop. Yeah. And as you get in a relationship, you long for ownership and just your space. And sometimes when the next person, there is no security when the person comes in, even if you are not in love with your spouse or them, but just the feeling that another person can just walk into that space and challenge you, you know. So I think that it's patriarchy that had normalized it, that women really did not have a voice where they could actually speak up and say, you know, this is how I feel about it. You just have to accept it. You know, the woman who would speak up against it would be the woman who would be seen as unfit.
Well, one person must have spoken for us to be able
which is why I said different generations come with different rates of normalization.
There's this argument in this open relationships, because open relationships, though I'm not trying to be feminist here, but they always come with skewed towards men. And particularly when it has to do with sex, say particularly African men,
yeah.
That African men are innately polygamous.
Yeah.
And so rather than just deal with cheating, they have to just come to terms with the fact that they have needs beyond just your body.
But there's something here too. It's from the time of our parents to now, and what the future of relationships is going to look like. You have to look at the religious aspect of it, because our parents were grounded in religious rules and customary rules, which said, okay, a man as the head of the family, as the different, you know, authoritative positions he holds in the home, can have access to so many people. But then now the new generation X and millennials are more open-minded. They're also very rebellious about this. They question a lot of things like religion, culture. And so they get into relationships with a more open mind and prepared to explore whatever it is they want to explore. Some people may just want to just live on the edge and say, well, wherever this takes me, I'm going to go with it. Because we just want to move on from things as quickly as we can. Yeah. Because we lack this less patience, less attention to things we may want to engage in. And also, there's more of really just living life to the fullest. So, and the generation we have right now, I mean, it's about flaunting these things.
We are in perpetual, PTSD from our parents' marriage.
Yes, because we've gone in, like, exactly, because we've been in these homes, we've seen that probably it's not work for our parents, and we don't want to repeat the same pattern and undergo the same struggles our parents went through. So
have you been involved in an open relationship? You do a lot of asking of questions.
And you have John on set, so you probably are very experienced.
No. To be honest, I'm a one girl, one man kind of person, and that's unfortunate.
Why are we acting surprised?
No, I need to understand.
No, I am. I really do love to explore things sexually with the person I am with. If it doesn't work out, then I dump you, and then I
move on to the next person.
To the next, we move. You know, so yeah, exactly. So I don't have time. Nobody has time here to be wasting on something that lead you to depression, and things that don't stand. So I don't. That's the kind of. If I'm with you, I try to do everything that is in my head with you. If you cannot do it, then I'll be like, okay, next person, bye. And so that's the person. But I don't there are times where we're in long distance relationships where this also plays. When you can't see somebody in 365 days, you possibly see the person like in 2 weeks, that's like 10 days or 12 days or 14 days. So what happens with the rest of the days? You're just going to stay holy and be like, no, I'm waiting for my man or my woman from da, da, da. So sometimes you get involved with somebody. But I think if I am doing that, in the back of my head, I know this thing that I'm doing now is not serious. I'm just here for, if it's the sex, it's just the sex.
Relax.
Yeah, just
Relax your nerves.
So it's like that.
But get serious though, because people get into
then we move.
and
If it gets serious, then we move. Which means,
I want to ask you something. There is this thing about like power couples. You're a powerful woman. So if you meet a powerful man and your idea is to build something formidable, right? But then he doesn't meet your sexual needs. But then you know that if they say Joan and Elonge, for example, if they call Joan and Elonge, everybody's head will turn, you know? So you stay in that relationship because of power, but then you have an agreement to see other people on the low. Do you think you would take that?
Yes.
Exactly. That's why people have reasons for.
Because Elonge is
right now, a lot of that's happening.
Yeah, a lot of that.
People are flaunt on social media with a certain kind of person. Meanwhile, behind, man, what's going on? It's crazy.
Yeah,
You know,
See, some of us still have a pretty conservative mind about these things. I don't.
You're speaking for a lot of people.
Yes, I mean, but I speak from me, like, then people can relate to it. Particularly, I'm not drawn by power. I'm not drawn by money. I'm not drawn by.
So Jay-Z comes here now, Jay-Z.
I won't. He's not cute enough for me.
No, there's no such thing as an ugly billionaire.
No, I'm saying he's ugly.
the money makes people.
No, I'm saying he's ugly. Look, let me tell you. Okay, I'm one person who, my best relationships have been the relationships where I took the first step.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I am in that kind of mind where I can have control of my emotions. So because when I get into that kind of relationship, I give in 100, my 100, and I think that's what matters in a relationship. I believe in authenticity. If I get into a relationship, or if I will get into a relationship with a man, there is the period between when you're talking to him and when you actually start dating. That is your period to assess if this is what I want, if this is what I can cope with, if this is what I can't, right? Now, if you're talking to this person and then you see that both of you kind of match on all levels, and if there is one level that is like the important level, which is what everybody keeps mentioning, the sex level, yes, if I realize at that point that either, can I just say you have a small dick? Like, if you have a small dick, I don't care if you are Dangote, it's not going to work. Okay. Because I can't.
You need to go.
I can't even find the words to say it. You borrow from anywhere, it cannot go. You understand? For me, the drive of a relationship is the emotions. It's how I feel about you. And if I am in love with you, there is no way I see your definition.
So which means the relationship, the relationship ought to be between one human being and another, not one human being and his pocket and her feelings. So it's heart to heart kind of relationship. But that's what true.
Because
So those are like the asides. You have what is the primary thing.
So for you, the primary thing is
the heart.
Yeah, but to others, it might be the money, because he might not look good.
Yeah.
I can't date an ugly man.
Jay-Z might not look good, but he's a billionaire. So when he talks to you, like, I love your job.
No, I can't do. No, I can't personally. I can't do. I can't. For me, it has to be you. You know what they usually say about love, like being in a relationship, what makes it a relationship, what makes it strong is that when every other thing has fallen apart and that man is standing right in front of you, do you still want to be there? That's what I'm trying. That's what I am out for.
Right.
Where it's me and you standing naked on top of a mountain with no house, no money, no car, no everything. Do I still want to just stand there and look at you?
It sounds very adventurous, by the way. It sounds very
But yeah, Vicky. I mean, Vicky, you say this, the whole standing on the mountain naked. It's quite graphic. But then you say you want the hat, right? Not necessarily. But you also say you want. Like, what do you want?
What
the
else
person.
do I want?
Yeah, the person. The whole
person,
package.
not the whole package. I mean the man.
The heart.
That's what I'm talking about.
If they just want to be man.
You get. I want the man.
That's what she said.
Yes.
That's why I said
He should come
naked.
with, you should come with everything. His
That's
hat.
why I
You
said
have a private
naked.
part that looks public.
I cannot hide.
I mean, this we could talk about this over and over and over, but I think the whole essence of this discussion is maybe trying to see what the future holds for dating today, right? Our parents, forefathers, may have lived their lives and the way the culture and religion guided them, but today, how many youths even go to church? How many of them even look up to God? How many of them even believe that there's even God? You know, how many of them even think that culture exists or should even be ruling their lives or the way they think?
People really think that they are post-African or like post-black or like post,
Right?
Yeah.
So you have all of these thoughts, and our young people, our children are going to come as well.
I don't think
But
it comes with religion.
Yeah, you see, like there's a lot of that.
I don't think it
So
comes
many.
with social media really.
so that's
really impacted a lot of this,
what the question, what we are trying to answer here. That's the last question I'm going to ask for everybody. Like, in as much as we've discussed all of this, what women want, what men want, what you want, is open relationship the answer at this point? Because we've talked about, we've stressed everything from back in the day to now. Everybody's going to answer this question. Should we encourage open relationship? Because if we don't, people will still be in that open relationship, cheating. No, I'm just asking. I'm just saying, because from everything that we said, it's hard to even find a Vicky. 500 times. It's hard to possibly find a Yana 500 times. So at the end of the day, what are we saying? Should open relationship be encouraged in this generation?
I think no. But have you noticed that our youths, this generation of our kid sisters, we'll call them the millennials or whatever they want to call them. We are the millennials, the X,
Generation
Z, whatever, Y, W. The things that people, children, young girls, 15 years younger than me, are doing so far sexually. For my 50 years, I know ever dreamer. I will never do a threesome. But you have young girls today who take it as
Hobby.
so if we are following the trend of what is and the kind of lifestyle that our young people are living, then it is the future.
Yeah.
Not even disputable.
So you've never had a threesome?
No, I never have, and I never will.
John, why are you so surprised?
No, I was just asking.
I'm a freak, but no, not that.
Not that freaky.
Yeah, I
Not that
wouldn't
freaky.
do threesome.
Why?
I wouldn't
Too
do
many
anal.
hands? Oh.
You can understand why the person will go out.
Let him go.
But that's the thing. You say all these things about you wanting this whole sexual person, but you also have things that you cannot do. Like I said, my principles, not necessarily principles, just the way that I think that I am, I don't think I can handle that kind of relationship. But I think that with the way things are going, that it is the future, or it could be the future. I mean, it's already happening a lot. Just like with everything sexual, it's a taboo to actually have conversations about, especially here in Cameroon or Africa. Yeah. So yeah, I think it could be the future.
Right.
This generation, they're surprising us. You're not them.
Is it the future? Yes, because you like I earlier mentioned, people have different reasons why they want to engage with people. and also because one, there's a sexual aspect which is really huge. There's also sometimes people just want to really explore their sexuality, whether you're really attracted to women or to men. So you want to go out there and be adventurous. Even your relationship is with someone, it goes down to interest too, because you may find somebody and you are just emotionally attached to the person, but not sexually attracted to the person. But you want to keep that balance. But then now it's about also breaking rules, because in the past people were doing these things, but then we were doing it undercover. But now there's some level of freedom, yes. Normalizing of these things, which people are like, okay, well, you know what, man, we're already here. We've seen religion for what it is, we've seen society for what it is, we've seen culture for what it is. We can live our lives the way we want to live it. And to me, if you want to do it, do it. So whatever satisfies you, and they were all going to die.
Hey.
that is not morbid at all. Not morbid.
Man.
What else do you have to do? I mean, what if it works for you? Fine, yeah, really.
I think that's solid.
I
Chairman.
These things are your generation is not know. But anyway, I think that the foundation of any human relationship, adult human relationship matter, is consent. And as long as the relationship has clear consent, where there are clear terms and people are in agreement about it, it is immaterial what others really think about it, because relationships are so personal that the decision, it's like a decision about abortion rights, whether a woman should commit abortion. I think that it should be left in the hands of the woman and the man, not a state, for example, telling you that this is exactly, because these are so personal. Yeah, so I think that these decisions are so personal. I think that the traditional forms of relationship, monogamy, would still continue to prevail. That forms of experimentation would be there, but would still remain fringe relationship types. That monogamy would still be there, because at the core of humanity is that people are longing to be in committed, loyal relationships. So they will still be there. Of course, society will constantly define what it means to be in a loyal relationship.
Yeah, I even read something about poly-loyal.
Yes.
I was like, wow, loyal to many. Yeah. I was like, this is interesting.
Can you be in love with so many people?
Yeah, you can. I think you can.
You love people for different reasons.
Yes, you can.
I'm always loving a lot of people.
Yeah, your heart is big. You have a very big heart. You have a very big heart.
Oh, my
No, seriously. Beyond the should be very disrespected by you. You should be very careful.
Church Street, you're standing there.
How do you love this one?
I don't know.
No, I
It
know.
is.
No,
It's very possible.
I did not know that it was possible. You grow up like knowing that there's soulmate and that, but you see this person and this person, like two people in the same way who are completely different.
Even this question of soulmate, your soulmate doesn't have to be the opposite partner.
What is this your obsession with the same partner?
No, I'm saying that. I'm saying that.
Shaki, you don't even please you enjoy.
All right, guys. So we are very, very happy to have this discussion. These are things that we want to have in the month of February, especially when we're celebrating Love, Valentine's Day. What is true love is another question. And then whether to be in an open relationship or whether that should take over the generation today is what we've tried to even answer. But what do you think about it? Do you think that open relationship is the future for dating? So join in the conversation by dropping your comments down there in the YouTube section. Thank you guys so much and see you soon.
Contact Jungle Studios, which is located at Solidarity Junction, Boya, for all your photography and videography.